All of Adventure Bay had turned out for the memorial at the lookout. It has been declared with black and white and red banners with a Paw Patrol logo temporarily, covered with a flag of Marshall Fireball tag. The entire town dressed for the occasion had come together for this tragic event. Even a few outsiders of Adventure Bay all these citizens keep looking down and see how mature and grieving and how they felt. Even all the people who is from the citizens out in places, and he tire furiously to fly in memorial state of statues and tears. Ryder, who has been calling silently and had his father holding his shoulder support while Kate was on the other side holding his hand. The pet groomer gave him a confronting smile, letting him know that she's there for him. Even Callie was there, in a black collar, looking sober. Besides Ryder, the two other groups, the pups themselves, and Marshall's parents. All the pups dressed in their Paw Patrol uniform with the black scarf wrapped around their necks as a sign of mourning. Words can't even describe how grieving combined with guilt, shame, and sorrow into the heartbreaking emotion. None of them had any tears that flowed out, nor did I ever stop looking at the great memorial statue of Marshall, which features him standing proud for all to see. The golden plate statue that said, "In loving memory of Marshall, a proud fire pup of a Paw Patrol. Just do my best. Forget the rest." The only one missing was Everest and her owner Jake. They tried to get a signal, but it's jammed by the storm. Ryder could only think how devastated they'd be once they learned of Marshall's fate. Even all the people, and even the Mayor Goodway, hadn't to dress out and make it all black and white. And all the places that they say. We're all gathered here today in remembrance of one of Adventure Bay's greatest heroes. He's brave, kind, and faithful to us all. Marshall of Paw Patrol was not another dog, but he was a part of a community. Our family. He's a rescuer, a friend, and a son to us. I never felt this moment to tell how do we feel about this grieving. It sounds like a word of depression. No matter what you feel so grieving about, you just feel realization keeps coming in. It just feels like it's understanding. That's how it felt to be grieving. Blaze was confronting his sobbing wife, who held onto the picture of Marshall that was just shot not long after he's born. Nobody knew what to say for the two adult dogs who had lost their only son. If anything, the Paw Patrol wished they had were hate by them instead of a forgiven. They told him everything. How it's all their fault that their son ran away and met his death. They looked at the five long and hard as they waited their punishment. In the end, they sigh and forgive them. They say Marshall wouldn't want them to, and they knew the pups never really meant for this to happen. It still didn't stop them from blaming themselves. They even offered to surrender their dog tags in shame to Ryder. Even if I did say that, though, that doesn't mean we won't have this hanging over us for the rest of our lives. Thought Ryder and the mayor end their speech and gave the floor to Ryder. Marshall was, I guess it's hard for me to say he is. He's brave, gentle, and happy. I think about what with all my pups said. But one thing I think about the most when it comes to Marshall, from now and forever, will be his love. With Marshall, he loved everything and everyone. He loved life to the fullest and made sure to smile every day, showing how much he loved who's and what he's doing. His love was something was all felt in our hearts. When we're all with him, he had presents that made you think he's the rays of sunshine itself. He clenched his fist. It's true that it may seem like those days were gone. However, I think if we remember who Marshall was and that feeling of love, we assassinate him. Then we could still feel those rays as he watched us from below. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. If there's a heaven for dogs, you deserve it. He hugged Bovey for turning back to the memorial, along with his state of understanding, getting a signal from the mayor, a bagpipe player, to blow into his instrument as rebels walk forward with Chase, Suma, Sky, and Rocky, carrying a small casket on their shoulder. There's no body to bury it, so they place Marshall's dog tag in the casket along with a photo of him. Rebel using his shovel to dig a hole in front of the suit, allowed the others to slowly lower the casket into the grave before he sealed it up with dirt. When the last dirt was patted, the bagpipes was ended and the crowd began to walk away with no receptions. Just some time alone to deal with this new reality what they were in. Everyone eventually made their way to the lookout except for Chase, who stood there and stared at the statue with a motionless face. Sky looked back at him a bit before following the others inside. What happened? Did I die? Not what I expected heaven to be like this. Marshall, you're awake. What? Hey, what are you doing? Sorry about that. Everest? You're in a puppy heaven too? I'm not dead, neither are you. Me and Jake found you in the cave 3 days ago and brought you back here. I'm not dead? Careful, you're still not fully healed. You were really weak when we found you. You gotta take it easy. Thanks, Everest. I owe you one. No problem. I'm just glad we rescued you. Mm. Hey, Marshall. Why did you run away? Ryder and Pups are really worried about you. They were? Ryder could understand, but didn't the Pups hate him? Uh, yeah, well, I mean, it's just something I really wanted to understand about it, but it's just how it is. Well, how did you know it? Yeah, Ryder had them looking all day when we last and had contact. Rocky seemed to be really upset, and it's his and the other pup's fault. They wanted to apologize, or something like that. Really? They were looking for me? Well, where are they now? I don't know. And we don't know. My communicator tagget isn't able to transmit due to these snowstorms outside. We haven't had outside contact in 3 days. You're lucky we decided to search for an extra hour before having to turn in because of the incident. Will the snowstorm be leaving soon, Everest? It should be gone in a few hours, dude. It should be gone in a few hours, dude. Glad to see you back from the dreamland, Marshall. For a second, we thought you weren't gonna make it. Everest here didn't even move from your bed for a whole day. Jake! Ew. Liver flavored. Oops, that's mine. Good. So, Marshall, when do y'all decide to skip down and head to the woods on your own? Actually, I was trying to get here. I wanted to live with... Well, the thing is, actually, I was trying to get here. I wanted to live with you guys for a while. Why? Not that... It's not that I'm happy that you want to hang out here for a bit, dude. But why leave your friends? Well, it's... Look, I want to tell you this, but I just wanted to give you an understanding. But, you see... The other pups think I'm being more of a clumsy. And sometimes I'm more of a... play silly pop, and I can do things, I can mess up things really bad. And most of all, I did something that's worst. You see, I was trying to put stuff away when we were playing soccer, and all of a sudden I accidentally broke the TV when they're about to watch a show that they like. And then all of a sudden that made me broke my heart, and then that's why these pups are got mad at me. And I always mess up every day. They always be mad at me when I broke the TV. I thought of an idea trying to run away and all the bad stuff that happened along the way, and including the crash and the bear. And I felt like I was about to die, but it's just how it is. You should really think out. You should really think at first. She picked you. Well, actually, she picked up your tracks, and we found you in that cave. If we didn't find you, dude, I'm afraid you'd be cold and dead and gone. Yeah. But I really owe you one, Everest. Thank you. You're welcome, Marshall. You silly pups. But Marshall, I don't think your friends hate you. Rocky looked really worried and scared for you when I saw him. I'm willing to bet all my liver treats that every one of the pups were hoping to find you in apologies. Really? You think that? I know so. And as soon as the storm clears and we get a signal, we'll be able to contact Ryder and the others. It's been 3 days. I wonder if they're still looking out for me. Chase still hasn't moved. It had been 2 hours. Sky fell. She was watching 2 statues at the same time. After the servants, nobody was in a mood to do much. Ryder was with Kate and his dad up on the 2nd floor. Rubbo Zuma were watching old videos of Marshall on a new TV they had. And Rocky was getting water from Marshall's parents, who were silent in a corner, like their world was come to an end. It might be the end of the world. With Marshall gone, who will be their fire pup? Will they get a replacement? The thought of someone taking over Marshall's spot, evoking both fear and fury in her, in me? No one would be able to replace Marshall. Nobody. Marshall would love it. Although it should be him doing one of those silly acts. He seems more like him. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, he would love it. Although it should be of him doing one of the silly things he did. It's always been like him. Yeah. What would I want to give for one of these acts? I'm leaving Paw Patrol. What? Why? Because how can I be a good police pup if I can't save my own best friend? I hurt Marshall. I betray him. If it wasn't for me, he would have been run off like that. He got himself killed. I failed him as a best friend. And if I can't help my best friend or my dad, what kind of a police dog am I? But what about all the people you've saved? All those citizens who passed by and thank you for all the hard work you've done. It's none of their concern. Why do you think they're gonna help me? You think this might be the best idea? Maybe we shouldn't make things a little more of a choice out of it, Sky. Think about it. This is exactly the reason why I lost my best friend, because of our rage. You think you're the only one who feels that bad, Chase? We're all responsible. We all said those horrible words to him. And we're all going to live with it for the rest of our lives. But I'm not gonna quit. You do that and Marshall will never forgive you. And what do you know? You have a family. I have nobody anymore. I lost my parents. Marshall are all dead. My mother died while giving birth to me. I told my dad to go to work that day instead of spending time with me. And then he got shot by frickin' Roberts. I told Marshall that he's an annoyance and he ran away, only to be eaten by a bear. I'm nothing but a curse. And also, some bad things cause happening in my own life. It's always been like this. I can't believe it. It's all because we thought of an idea trying to be mad at him. What's the point? I always feel so much difficult things coming into my mind, and it's so different. Everyone I love dies. It's all because of me. I should just disappeared off the face of the earth. That way none of you will be die because of me. Chase, don't ever say that again, Sky. Don't ever wish such a thing like that, Chase. I lost one friend I care about. I don't want to lose another. I don't want to lose you. Out of everyone here, you're the one I care about the most. And you think you lost these you care about? Ryder lost his mother in the accident. Kate's parents are divorced and refuse to speak to each other. Rocky, Zuma, and Rubble are all old friends. For a reason, you know. And we lost Marshall. We lost our precious friend. Not because of you, and you're alone. We all play in a part of the lost. But maybe it's just happened because of it did. I don't know if I'm losing Marshall will ever heal me. But I don't let this stop me from getting what I want to be. A rescue pup. If you want to make your father and Marshall proud, you keep doing what you can to help people and prevent such tragedies from occurring. And remember, we're in this together, especially me and you, because Jason, I love you. I love you too. Hello? Ryder? Pops, you there? It's Everest. Everest, what happened? We tried to communicate with you. We got staticked. Sorry about that. The snowstorm just cleared up. I'm glad we could get a signal. Listen about Marshall. Everest, Marshall's gone. We found his collar in blood. We just had his funeral. Well, that's where you're wrong, Ryder. I found Marshall. He's alive. Alive? Yeah, see yourself. Hey, pups. And guys, how's my funeral?